Brazil is going home. It is their earliest World Cup exit since 1990, a result that stunned a nation expecting a six-star. For Neymar, the elimination is final. 16 years after making his senior debut on this exact grass, his last World Cup attempt ended in tears. This loss closes a 16-year era of the national team, leaving Brazil to face a championship drought that now stretches beyond 2 decades. Global headlines framed the match as a shocking upset, but the technical data suggests the outcome was less of a fluke and more of a predictable outcome of the play. Norway dominated possession, holding the ball for 70% of the game. They used that control to dictate the tempo, pressing high up the pitch and forcing Brazil to defend deep in their own half. Historically, Brazil has never actually beaten Norway. In 5 all-time meetings, the Norwegians have managed to remain undefeated. Norway controlled every single phase of the match, delivering a systematic, calculated dissection of the Brazilian game. The collapse began with a shift in tactics. Manager Carlo Ancelotti moved Brazil away from their traditional attacking style to a hyper-defensive system known as catenaccio, effectively trying to bolt the door shut. This defensive posture forced an aging spine of defenders to spend 90 minutes absorbing Norway's press, eventually exhausting Brazil's veteran backline. Offensively, Brazil failed to capitalize on their few chances. The low point came when Endrick was played through on a clear breakaway, only for a heavy touch to send the ball to the keeper. When Brazil did find a lane, they met Erling Haaland. The Norwegian keeper kept the match scoreless in the first half by guessing correctly on a Bruno Guimaraes' penalty kick. Brazil discarded their tactical identity, leaving them vulnerable to a Norwegian team that executed a more aggressive game plan. While Brazil struggled to find a rhythm, Martin Odegaard commanded Norway's midfield, repeatedly finding gaps in the defense to launch transitions. But the one major variable that Brazil could not solve was Erling Haaland. We can see his impact in this data. Haaland was largely isolated from the build-up play, focusing entirely on high-value positioning inside the box. Across the entire match, he managed just 30 total touches. From those 30 touches, he only produced 4 shots. Those 4 shots resulted in 2 goals, including a 90th-minute strike that effectively ended the match. He added a physical dimension that Brazil couldn't match, winning 4 aerial duels to disrupt the center-backs and keep Norway in possession. Haaland proved that ruthless finishing can dismantle an entrenched defense, regardless of how many players are behind the ball. The final whistle highlighted the contrasting fortunes of the match's 2 biggest stars. An emotional Neymar announced his retirement immediately after, stating, I tried, now it's over." Inside the winning locker room, Haaland was more casual, posting a selfie with a 3-word message, "Well, well, well." These reactions mark the end of one era of Brazilian stardom and the rise of a striker who prioritizes clinical results over everything else. For Brazil, the consequences are historic. This is their 6th consecutive World Cup knockout at the hands of European opposition. The defeat ensures their championship drought will last at least 28 years, signaling a deep crisis in the national program. Norway has moved in the opposite direction, advancing to their first ever World Cup quarterfinal against either England or Mexico. Norway has moved past the label of a fun underdog. With a clinical striker and a dominant tactical identity, they have become the team to avoid in the knockout bracket.
Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow Footmania India on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Bye!